What happens when a young tech genius dedicates his life to God, and after his death, miracles begin to occur? That young man was Carlo Acutis. He was born in 1991 and died in 2006 at only 15 years old. His cause for sainthood advanced thanks to 2 miracles officially recognized by the Church. Today, we're going to delve into a mystery that goes beyond reason. Not only the life of Carlo Acutis, but the events that defy every human explanation. Stay until the end, because what you're about to discover could transform the way you believe.
Who was Carlo Acutis? A brief look back. To understand the miracles, we first need to see the context. Carlo was born in London on May 3, 1991, into an Italian family that later moved to Milan. From an early age, God was preparing his heart for something great. Carlo Acutis showed a unique sensitivity toward the sacred. He deeply loved the Eucharist, attended Mass with joy, and often said that the host was my highway to heaven. But at the same time, he was very much a young man of his generation, passionate about technology, computers, and the digital world. What's extraordinary is how he managed to unite both worlds, faith and technology, to evangelize with creativity and love. But the question remains, why him? What made him so special that today he is recognized as a saint? What did God see in Carlo Acutis to choose him at such a young age and turn his life into a living sign of faith in our time? From childhood, Carlo allowed God to guide every step of his life. He didn't need great works or visible miracles to stand out. His secret was living the ordinary with love and offering every small act to God. He had a deep love for the Eucharist, the Virgin Mary, and the Rosary. He often said his goal was to always be united with Jesus, and he lived that with joy, purity, and simplicity.
What made him special wasn't fame or technology. It was his heart, a young soul who placed Christ at the center of everything and used the tools of his time to lead others to heaven. That's why God chose him. Because in the midst of a digital world and a distracted generation, Carlo became a light, a reminder that holiness is not a thing of the past. It's possible here and now. In him, we see a divine calling from childhood, a devotion that grew day by day until his whole life became a living testimony that holiness can also flourish in the ordinary. And so, his story did not end with his death. On the contrary, it was the beginning of something much greater. We now enter the most astonishing part of this story, the miracles. Events that defy all human logic, yet seem to whisper a message from heaven. Because sometimes, the impossible simply bears the seal of God. The first miracle, recognized through Carlo Acutis. The first miracle attributed to the intercession of Carlo Acutis took place in Brazil, and its protagonist was a little boy named Matthias Viana, only 4 years old. Matthias had suffered since birth from a serious pancreatic malformation known as annular pancreas. This rare condition wrapped around his intestine, preventing him from eating normally. He vomited frequently, suffered intense abdominal pain, and his health grew weaker by the day. Doctors had tried everything. Surgeries brought no results, and hope was slowly fading away. It was then that his family, desperate yet full of faith, began to pray to Carlo Acutis, asking for his intercession. During a celebration in their local parish, the boy was blessed with a relic of the young blessed, a small piece of cloth that had been in contact with Carlo. At that very moment, something extraordinary happened. Matthias felt warmth in his abdomen and asked for food, something he hadn't been able to do for months. From that day on, he ate normally. No pain, no vomiting, no trace of his illness. When doctors examined him, they found no scientific explanation for his recovery. Years later, the Vatican investigated the case and officially recognized it as a miracle attributed to Carlo Acutis, the first to open the path toward his beatification. A child who could eat again, a family that learned to believe again, and a young man from heaven who continued to work with the same tenderness with which he once loved God on earth. The second miracle, attributed to the intercession of Carlo Acutis. The second miracle attributed to Carlo Acutis took place in Italy, and it was the one that definitively opened the path toward his canonization. The protagonist was Valeria Valverde, a young woman from Costa Rica studying in Florence. One morning, while riding her bicycle, she suffered a terrible accident. She fell hard and struck her head against the pavement. The injuries were devastating. A severe traumatic brain injury, multiple internal hemorrhages, and a bleak prognosis. Doctors warned that even if she survived, she would be left with serious neurological damage. Valeria fell into a deep coma. Her mother, heartbroken, refused to give up. Amid the pain, she decided to travel to Assisi, where the remains of Carlo Acutis rest. There, before his tomb, she knelt, placed a handwritten letter, and with tears in her eyes begged Carlo to intercede for her daughter. Days later, something no one expected took place. Valeria began to breathe on her own. The brain hemorrhages stopped with no medical explanation. Her condition improved so rapidly that doctors were left without words. Shortly afterward, the young woman woke up completely lucid, with no after effects, as if the accident had never happened. After a thorough investigation, the Church officially recognized this event as a miracle, confirming once again the heavenly intercession of Carlo Acutis, a mother who refused to lose faith, a tomb that became an altar of hope, and a young blessed who continues to remind the world that the love of God knows neither distance nor time. These two events are not just stories. They are the ones the Church examined scientifically, reviewed medically, and ultimately declared without any recognized natural explanation. That is what makes them officially recognized miracles. But there is another level to this story. Before his death, Carlo himself created a website where he cataloged more than 130 Eucharistic miracles from around the world. Events such as bleeding hosts, transformations, and testimonies of the real presence. He didn't perform these miracles. He documented and shared them. We could say that his miracle was also becoming a bridge between the digital and the sacred. The mysteries behind the miracles. What we want to uncover now is why these miracles move us so deeply. What lies behind them? What are they trying to tell us? Intercession. These miracles took place after Carlo's death. As if from heaven, he continued collaborating with God. It is a living sign that holiness does not end with death. It multiplies. The Eucharist. Carlo called it, "My highway to heaven." His entire life revolved around this mystery, and it is no coincidence that both the miracles he documented and those now attributed to him are profoundly connected to the real presence of Jesus in the host, the digital and the eternal. In a world filled with screens, Carlo used technology to speak about God. He turned the internet into a path toward heaven, showing that what is modern can also become a divine instrument. And perhaps the deepest message of all, these miracles are not only meant to be admired, they are meant to awaken us. Maybe they are an invitation from God himself to live with more faith, purity, and love, just as Carlo did. So tell me, do you believe the miracles attributed to Carlo Acutis are just simple curiosities, or signs meant for our generation? Are you willing to let yourself be interrupted by the divine in this digital world? If this video moved you, please leave a like, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so we can keep discovering together more stories that seem to end, but are really just beginning. Because maybe the next miracle has your name on it. And maybe, just maybe, it's the calling you've been waiting for. Thank you for watching. See you next time.